Freaking out, man. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men in power want? More power.
My name is Luca Zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
We're not afraid.
Here we go, guys and girls. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on United States to the FM network. Another Sunday, another show, and I must tell you, I am grateful. Really am. I already probably told you many times, but for me, every time I come to this show, it's like a process. It's like a journey. It's like it is not just 3 hours that I crank them out, and it's like really like I'm giving birth to something. It's a creation moment because I really want to give you the best. I don't want to just have myself talking about something. After all, you already know my opinions. You already know what I think or pretty much who I am. I want to give you somebody else's opinions. And why? Because I really want that maybe we can learn from each other. And that's the idea of the show, okay? And also another important thing. As I said, it's like almost, giving a birth to something. Something that regardless, the air show, the airtime that you will listen probably on K-Talks, is going to stay here, at least in the internet, until they completely going to suppress it. But it's going to be on my YouTube channel. And it's like almost, they are like little pill boxes, little messages in the bottles that maybe 5 years from now you can listen and you can see things how they were, how they improve or they got worse. For me, this is something like almost a message we leave for posterity. And I think this part is probably the most important part for me, at least, to leave something behind that we were trying to do our part. We were trying to sometimes agree or disagree, doesn't matter, but at least we try to engage through this forum to learn from each other. Because what we want at the end, we want to be free human beings. That's the spirit of the show. This is not about Republicans, Democrats, whatever you are, libertarians. It's about we are human beings. We believe in some basic things that we somehow get us together. We have a language, even with different accents, but we speak English. Because at least in this country, we can understand each other. I don't want to try to sound like, oh my God, you have a right wing. No, it's about communication. I could have keep speaking Italian till I came 18 years ago and never learned. Probably say, Luca, you still suck. Yes, I do. Sometimes my grammar sucks. But at the same time, I try my best. Why? Because I wanted to be part of this country. I didn't want to live in little Italy or little Mexico or little Nigeria or whatever little things you have down there in some neighbors. I want to be in America, okay? And I believe that, as much as I am very libertarian when it comes down to other things, I believe in very small government, very small, not small. I believe that, of course, in socioeconomics, pretty much the libertarian system. At the same time, when it comes to, of course, personal lifestyle, I am completely libertarian. The way I think, I can do everything I want until I don't infringe on your rights. But then when it comes down to one issue that I disagree with the libertarian, it's about borders. It's about sovereignty. Because at the end of the day, if we do not control our borders, we don't control our country, and we're going to lose it. Because look what happens just the last elections. We had, I don't know, many millions of people that don't have the right to vote. They were able to vote. And they're uneducated masses. First of all, they don't have their right to vote. And they can alter the structure of this republic. And they're going to try to transform it, already it is, a democracy. And of course, we are not a democracy. We're never supposed to be. So that's why it's so important to control sovereignty, to control our borders, to control, of course, who comes here. Because this is not your right. It was not my right. I wasn't born here, for God's sake. So yes, I would like things, maybe one thing I ask, if we could improve it, to make it fair for everybody. That means, I don't want to be treated like they can throw the book at me. I come from Europe and I had to go through 7 years of torture with paperwork and different things. And then somebody else going to pretty much get, a special treatment just because jumped the fence. That's not right. We should all be treated equally. Maybe make do things a little easier, but still, it is not your right. It was not my right. To come to America, it is a privilege, unless you were born here. Let's spell it out, okay? And this is coming from a former immigrant. Now, Let me shut up. I'm very excited today. I found on Facebook one of my really first people that I got in contact when I started to get involved into this movement to try to expose illegal immigration. And this gentleman that now, of course, we're talking about 12 years later, we didn't talk for 12 years. We shared and some moments, we didn't spend much time together, but we shared some moments that were very intense on the streets of Los Angeles, surrounded by a complete army. I'm talking about probably more than 800, let's say numbers, more than 500 for sure. We will ask now to him, of very mad illegal aliens or pro-illegal aliens, just because we were exercising our First Amendment on American soil. And the fact that this gentleman is an American, first of all, but just because his heritage, I don't call him Hispanic American, like I don't want people calling me Italian American. I'm a white American, that's fine. Or you want to call me an American with an accent, that's fine. His heritage is Hispanic, but he's an American, period. But, the fact that he was there with us, and he was speaking his mind, guess what? You know how many names they can call you when you don't side with them and you are somehow siding for your country. Anyway, his name is Vince Estrada. And Vince, are you there?
I'm here, Luca. Good to hear from you.
Good, man. I hope you didn't fall asleep, because when I started in this kind of introduction, I go, man, I'm kind of, I need to put a lock in my mouth.
No, I enjoyed it.
Good. Listen, first of all, Vince, where are you right now? Because I know last time I saw you 12 years ago, you were in California. Now, where are you?
I am in, actually, I'm in Decatur, Illinois.
Wow, what happened to you? Why did you go there all the way? I mean, at least don't get me wrong. Between Illinois and California, I don't know what is worse, but probably Illinois maybe a little better. What happened? Why did you leave California?
I just got tired of the liberal politics. I mean, it's just,
wow,
it's ridiculous what the politicians are doing to our state. I mean, there's a lot of businesses leaving. Mm-hmm. Illegal immigration is running amok over there. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's so expensive out there. And here in the town I'm in, it's very affordable rents and so forth. So I enjoy it out here.
Good. It's funny because Illinois is not exactly, let's say, a super conservative state, for example, just when it comes down to gun rights. But comparing to now California, you can compare to anything, is always better than California, I guess, at this point. We really, especially for the cost of living, I'm sure. Now,
oh, definitely.
Yeah. Quick question. I left California to Arizona about exactly in 2005, and a lot of things that were happening there, And I remember we did one thing that beside different events, like I remember on Facebook, you were just promoting or at least asking for photos of an event in Las Vegas that we were there together. I think it was Unite to Fight with Mark Edwards. You remember him?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of memories.
Yeah, that was...
But
I'm sorry.
Well, go ahead. I was going to ask you a lot of memories, but one thing I remember that was kind of hard to forget was Baldwin Park. You remember that day?
Oh, I don't think I'll ever forget that day. That was intense.
I want you to share it because you're better than me. Your English is better than me. So please give us that to posterity, because this is, as I said, it's not just going to be for the air for today, but I think maybe somebody else, maybe a few years from now, may still listen to this thing. And let's remember exactly in 2005, am I right? That was the year. I would like to remember also the day, and I will find it right now. But give us like a little romantic story. Why few American people with different ethnicity, different colors? There were some black, there were some white, there were some Hispanic. We got there together, and we wanted to express our own First Amendment about one important topic. And then what happened? Give us the story. You're the director. Okay? I want you somehow paint this story to the rest of the listeners. Go ahead.
Well, we were there and we were doing our thing, just holding our signs, and we weren't agitating anybody. But I've never encountered so many vile, hateful people in my life. And me being Hispanic and having, I guess you can call it olive skin, they single me out and all the other Hispanics, and they just can't stand it. And it was, all I can say is, wow. I mean, we were called every name in the book. We were flipped off. I remember a water bottle was thrown and it hit one of our people on our side, hit her in the head, and she had to go to the hospital. I mean, they just think it's their country and they want it back. That, I mean, it's just, I don't understand it. I mean, you're in America. Follow the laws of America. You should be grateful to be able to be here. But my whole point is you need to do it legally.
Yeah, and also let's remember exactly why we were there. I mean, Baldwin Park is a little part of Los Angeles, mostly, let's say Hispanic area. Many of them, I don't even think speak English very much. It's as we saw, they were completely waving Mexican flags. You can be, in an area that, let's say you have, for example, I don't know, Little Italy, okay, or whatever, but they still, love Italy. I'm asking, they still love America, and that's all I care. I don't care, what type of ethnicity you are. All I care, at least we speak a language, we get along, and we respect each other. But Baldwin Park, the interesting thing was that Save Our State, this group that was some sort of activist group to try to expose and stop illegal immigration, wanted to somehow protest, or at least peacefully protest, because it was a peaceful protest, it was just the First Amendment protest, of this artwork. It was a monument called Danzas Indigenas, okay, at the Metrolink station in Baldwin Park. And the work, why it was so, let's say, controversial. I don't know if you remember the phrase. You remember the phrase what this monument used to say?
I think it said it was better before they came. This land was ours, and it will be again. Something to that effect.
Yes, yeah.
It was been a long time.
And the problem that was paid by our tax dollar, if I well remember. It wasn't just some private, business. You can do whatever you want. It's your private business. That was a public property paid by our tax dollar, and I think it was kind of, at least we supposed to have the right to respond with our own opinion. But what happened?
Right.
We were about probably 25 of us, okay? I mean, it was really a small group. And
it was a very small group.
How many people did we got around us? Probably what, 500, 600 people? I mean, at least.
About, yeah. They were right across the street from us. I mean, it was pretty intense. I have to admit that I was getting a little nervous towards the end.
I mean, they can storm you in and start to completely do like the think about really just kill you with their hands. I mean, you got 500-600 people and you had 20 of you. I mean, that was there, and they weren't nice. They weren't just like, okay, we exercise our First Amendment, you do yours, we can live in peace. No, they were telling us, we're gonna probably beat the crap out of you and we're gonna do bad things to you. And even if I don't speak Spanish, I could understand the situation. And I remember there was like this sort of probably about 100 cops with the horses, shields. I mean, that was like
in the riot gear. Yeah.
And they were trying to bill us. You cannot protest anymore because it's going to cost us too much money to protect
right.
you. I mean, that's another interesting thing. Of course, it's our fault now that we, in America, we cannot even exercise our First Amendment. So that was a beautiful memory, as much as I think was, of course, a little, intense. But now that they are one of the things that in our life, if one day we're going to make it to be old, and I hope you do, I don't speak for me because you never know, we are here, but I always say, wow, we never know what we're going to have. Let's appreciate today. If we have kids or grandkids, or no, doesn't matter, just looking back, I think it's one of the most beautiful memories for me as being American, to have spent time with people like you and, other friends that I still see today on Facebook. And all I can say was I was very proud, finally, to be able to be with you guys. And I was just, I just became an American at the time. I was fresh out of my citizenship. So it was kind of a great moment for me, at least as a moment of pride. So finally I can speak up my mind as I wish, without being, of course, afraid that, they can give you grief when you do things like that you apply for citizenship. All right, listen. Now, let's talk a little bit about you. You're still somehow pretty vocal. I follow your Facebook post. Tell me a little bit about you, first of all. Politically, I don't think you changed much, but what is your position about borders? What is your position about President Trump? What is your position in general about the state of affairs? What do you think? What's going on?
Well, I like President Trump, I think, because he's saying what we wanted politicians to say for the longest time. We finally got someone up there that, we're on the same page. I don't like illegal immigration. I mean, like I said earlier, if you're going to come here legally. But what I think he's doing is great with letting ICE and the Border Patrol do their jobs now. No more catch and release, and maybe crime will go down.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it does, especially in California, where there's a lot of gang members, Arizona, and, well, I don't know how bad your crime is over there, but I know there's some areas that are hotspots for gangs and illegals, correct?
Oh, yes. I mean, Arizona is variety. Some part of Arizona, like, for example, Northwest Arizona is not as bad as when you go down to Tucson, but, of course, it's one of the front line.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And, we were at the border together, and we walked along there, and there's no fence. I mean, it's easy to cross.
Yeah. This is exactly the point. This destruction of our sovereignty is being planned a long time ago, and this is not just Obama. There was Bush and whoever was before Bush. I mean, it's been a long-term plan, and now we start to see really the ramifications at the last elections. I mean, not only our system is destroyed. I mean, our welfare cannot somehow survive millions of people that they try to tap in just because they're able to somehow have a child on U.S. soil and they can start to get all the benefits. It's impossible. I mean, it's impossible, I think, even for American people. But the worst part is the elections. I mean, they can vote.
Oh, yeah.
They voted this election. Don't you remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. There was a lot of voter fraud, and I was getting really nervous towards the end because all the pundits in the polls were saying that Clinton was going to win. She had a 90% chance of winning, and then I didn't stay up to watch the results because it was really late out here in Illinois, so I got up the next morning and found out Trump was president. I was just elated. I was just thrilled.
I mean, it would be the end. I mean, I'm not saying that Trump can make miracles because there have been too many years of destruction. And, also you need to work with Congress, so it's not just you can do everything. But at least we have a little hope. With Hillary, would have been the continuation of Obama on steroids. So we have a little hope.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Well, another thing I was going to ask, there was last week this event called some sort of a day of protest, a day without immigrants, and everybody stays home. I mean, I don't know. I never asked you really. You were born here or you were immigrated like me? What is your story? Because I can tell you mine, of course.
I was born in California, Los Angeles, California.
So you were complete natural born American. It's not like me. I was immigrated. But for me as an immigrant, because I was really an immigrant, I got really offended when I start to see that they don't make any more intentionally. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. They try to put us all in the same pot, okay? We are all immigrants.
Yeah.
Now, we are not all immigrants. Because I remember the immigration system starts when you leave your country, especially if you are, normally all countries, if you want to immigrate to America, you need to start your journey from probably an embassy. And you need to start to apply for a visa. Then you're going to have probably an airplane ticket, or maybe you're going to have, I don't know, a boat or whatever you can find. But then you go to a port of entry. You don't jump the fence in the middle of the night. So that's the first problem that I really felt terrible when they started to say, wait a second, they're without immigrants. I was an immigrant. Millions like me were immigrants. And we had to, and I'm not complaining, we had to go through the process that the country set to try to regulate an immigration. Because we have, 7 billion people out there in the world? What do you think? Maybe 7, 8? I don't know. 7 ain't enough.
7 or 8, yeah.
I mean, why
something
not?
Like that, yeah.
Why don't we get all people here? I mean, after all, if we have no borders with this theory, we should be able to allow the rest of the world to come all here. I mean, why we draw the line? Seriously.
But see, that's the problem. Without going through the proper immigration process, we don't know who's here.
Exactly. And also, I really believe we need to also guarantee the government, at least, let's say, as much as I don't like governments because normally they are part of the problem, but at least we should have a system that we can have the typical, what used to be a melting pot. And immigration must serve America. America must not serve immigration. I mean, if America say, okay, now this year, for the economy or for our jobs or whatever, we don't need all these immigrants. I don't care they're legals or illegals. Of course, illegals, they're all immigrants. But even the legals, immigrants, if the system say this year we have a quota of, 100,000, period, because that's what is good for us this year, That's the bottom line. People don't understand, some of them. It is not a right. I mean, you were born here. That's your natural born right. For people like me, it was a privilege. That's the bottom line. And that's the simple thing that people need to understand. So they don't come here and start to demand. But more important, if you jump the fence, you were here illegally, you cannot call yourself an immigrant, idiot. You are an illegal freaking alien. And that's all I can tell you over the radio. Because that's a no, seriously, that's a big distinction. Really offending for me. You know, it took me 7 years of pain and misery and stamps and freaking, money and time to just follow the basic paperwork and bureaucracy. Yeah, I wish they would do a little better bureaucracy because government, that's what normally they do best. They love to do things expensive and bureaucratic. But whatever. If it was bad for me, we're supposed to share the same pain. You know, people should have the special treatment just because, you're the chosen race or you come from a chosen country, okay? That's the bottom line. So anyway, but I don't care, people, what you think about me. Seriously, I'm very libertarian when it comes to other issues. But when it comes down to borders and sovereignty, if we don't have borders, we don't have any more a country. And at that point, look what happened. We're going to be invaded by people that they don't really care about our Bill of Rights or Constitution. They're just going to vote for whoever gives them more. Question. In Illinois right now, in the area where you live, how is the immigration compared to California when you left? Where you left?
Oh, the area I'm in, the only Hispanics or Mexicans I see are actually at the Mexican restaurants. It's predominantly white here.
Okay. Nobody ever gave you any hard time? Anybody's been, let's say, racist or try to misdemean you or talk to you down just because? I'm just curious.
No, actually, they're all very polite here. The only where I had the worst problems, to be honest with you, Luca, was in L.A.
I know.
They'll just start talking to me in Spanish. I'm like, I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
They just look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, you're right. I remember too. I never been called. At least, my accent is not that good. It's not like you. You were born here. You went to school. So even after all these years, I still talk like some sort of an immigrant. So but I tell you, nobody ever gave me any grief. But the only grief I got, and really, calling me names, was from the pro-illegal aliens movement. And I was an immigrant, okay? But rednecks, they treat me with respect. People from, I don't know, whatever part of, let's say, nowhere America, they normally, I have friends online, I talk, and normally they're not exactly, friend of illegal aliens. But for me, I never had any problem with these people. But only problem I had was with people from, and they're really, by the way, they're really mean. Talking about be offensive, wow, and violent. By the way, they got really. If they could, they would really put you down. Seriously,
Oh man, evidently I'm a traitor to my race. I'm like, what, the American race? And then we used to do protest rallies at a day labor site in Lake Forest, and we showed up for several weeks in a row.
I remember that, yeah.
And I started talking to one of the day laborers, a young kid, probably in his 20s. And he came up to me one day. He came across the street and he said, look, man, he goes, I got to tell you something. He goes, those guys over there, if you come back again, they're going to stab you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah. I just don't understand their way of thinking. I'm not a Mexican. I'm an American. My mom was born and raised in Texas. My dad's from East LA. So,
wow.
Can't get more American than that.
Exactly. You know what is sad? They've been proving themselves not just in the past, but now more than ever after these results of the latest elections. Look, all these organized acts of violence. Really, and I'm not just talking about being violent on the streets. That's very bad, of course. But also when people want to exercise the First Amendment, like at colleges or schools or whatever, and they shut you down like the complete fascist. That's what Mussolini, black shirts used to do. Exactly. And they're going around saying that Trump is a fascist. At least I don't know what Trump is because we didn't get a chance yet to be. Let them at least see what he's going to do. But for sure, these people are fascist. and they're going to call themselves liberal fascists, doesn't matter. They're still acting like completely evil and violent. That does not anymore justify whatever they believe. I mean, even if they have differences of opinion, you break, for me, when you start to use violence against other people without reason, unless it's for self-defense, you lose all the arguments there. But we're at this point. I mean, really, I believe that they're trying to push for civil war. What do you think? I mean, is this something possible they're trying to plan? Because I think Soros behind is pushing with Obama to try to somehow create a sedition here. What do you think?
I agree with you there. I mean, I don't understand where they're coming from. That, you know, they are very violent. They are fascist, and they want probably a civil war. They want civil disobedience. They're destroying property. They're beating up people. They can't control their anger. I don't know what they're so angry about. I mean, you know, I wasn't happy when Obama won the first time or the second time, but I wasn't out there throwing rocks at people and buildings and fighting with police. I said, okay, well, we'll have to deal with it in 8 years, and then we'll see who else comes along. You know, I guess their mentality level is just very low.
This is also not just a bunch of people that they are just crazy. There is also a plan. There is an organization behind. I mean, there is a strategy to create this chaos.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is, we know the story. People have been paying big dollars to organize, and even just to get a regular, 9 to 5 at the protest, you get paid money now. You know, it's like a job. So we know that there is a plan behind. So it's scary because it's not just a bunch of yahoos, getting violent. They are really strategically try to, as I said, compromise any type of attempts that President Trump is trying to bring back at least the will of the people. Let's put it this way. That's the reality. We wanted this, and it's time to have a chance finally that a politician follows up on what the people want. Okay. Wow.
Someone's behind them. Someone's organizing them. They're too organized just to be loose cannons. I mean, something's going on. I don't know what, but it's kind of scary, to be honest with you.
At least for me, what is scary also the fact that for the first time I heard in the latest, at least 50 years, I guess, or modern history, that a retired president, I never call him president, by the way, Mr. Obama, that I still believe he was born in Kenya, in my opinion, that it does not go, after even the most, doesn't matter which president, the Clinton, the Bush, after they finish, they disappear. They go back, they get lost in their islands or in their little palace, whatever, and we forget about them, thank God. No, this bastard is now still in Washington, D.C. He bought some sort of a house, and it's not a house, it's probably a mansion, with a really underground bunker, and very close to the White House, and is there, we have proofs, they were like on different news, or at least different reporters, that is there in Washington plotting to try to compromise President Trump presidency. I mean, that's for me right there, sedition. I mean, on top of the guy is like a cancer, it doesn't go away, for God's sake. What do you think about that? Did you heard about that?
I heard about that. They're calling it the shadow government. And I've been doing a little bit of reading, but I forget what his group is called, but he has like 25 field offices and like 30,000 volunteers is what I've been reading. I might be wrong on the figures, like those. Double check. But yeah, they're getting paid to protest, and they're going to overthrow the government. Yeah,
exactly.
Or at least they want to try to.
Yeah, and the situation, we don't know really what they can do, because the fact is, for example, we know one thing. We had, the last administration, the Obama administration, let in the country thousands of people, call them refugee. They are not refugee for me. Some of them, they were planned to be here, and not vetted. We have no idea where they're coming from. And it's only, even the FBI under the Obama administration said, by the way, we have no idea who these people are. And even just, let's say, 1% of these people come here with bad intention, and they are really trained to create drama. We have an army already sitting here in America, on U.S. soil, that if they activate themselves all at the same time, even just, let's say you got 100 of these crazy bastards start to go crazy at the malls at the same time, or at the theaters, or whatever. Even just stabbing at the same time 100 people at the same time, the same day, that would be enough to create a martial law scenario. So right there, we are living in hot water. We don't know really when the water gonna get hotter, because it can happen anytime, But as I said, we live day by day, and we'll see what happens. Now, question: any topic you want to touch more about President Trump? Something that you would like to him to do better or do faster? What do you think?
Well, I'd like for him to, restore relations with Russia. Let's get peaceful with them, because that's a big country. Vladimir Putin, he was pretty aggressive when it came to Syria. But, I would really like him to do a little bit more about the illegal immigrations. I'm not too thrilled with what he's doing with the DACA kids. Granted, they were brought here when they were young, but they're still here illegally, and they're going to college for free and taking opportunities from, I think, American-born or American citizens.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see him do something with the taxes and actually abolish sanctuary cities.
Yeah. At least, as I said, normally before I pass judgment, I like to wait. But for even there are things I don't agree with him. Still, I would like to really he changes the foreign policy that pretty much has been dictated by the military-industrial complex. I mean, one thing he started right before he got into office. Russia, why supposed to be our enemy? I mean, why do we need to perpetrate this illusion to create this how you call it, this sort of a puppet, to put fear into us, so at least the boogeyman. Okay, so we had to keep paying more and more trillions to the military-industrial complex to go in this Cold War. And he said the right things at the beginning. Then, of course, when he got into it, the Vice President Pence and everybody else started to play the same game. I think really, Russia, after all, so far, it's been doing better than us in some areas. I mean, what business do we have to go to Syria? What business do we have to go to Ukraine? Why, like tomorrow, let's say China is going to Mexico. I would be freaking out. China is supposed not to be in Mexico to meddle in our business with Mexico. Same story.
Right.
And on top of Mexico, we're not even supposed to be there. They're there, we're here. But Ukraine, we have no business. Syria, first, Mr. Kerry, former Senator Kerry, goes to have dinner with freaking Assad, with his wife, and then the week after say he's a terrorist. We know it's a scam. That's the bottom line. They have interest there, and they always try to bring us in these illegal wars, and that for me really irritates me, because where are the Democrats that they were protesting Bush now when Obama was dropping bombs in Libya, in Syria, and all these countries? Seriously, that's the sad thing.
It doesn't make sense. They're hypocritical. They're very hypocritical. The Democrats are hypocritical. They're blocking everything that Trump is trying to do just because they don't like the man. But, they got to look at what happened. They keep doing the politics the same way they're doing it. They haven't learned.
Well, I think
they lost big time, and we have both the House, Senate, and the White House.
Yeah, and I think it's not just Trump himself. They don't like him personally. It's about what Trump is slowing down their global government agenda, and this is not just the Democrats. Look at the Bush. Look at the Paul Ryan before the elections. Look at all these other Republicans that were backstabbing Trump because he wasn't going for these global government policies of free trade that is not free at all, is just in control of the corporations like TPP, NAFTA, CAFTA, the destruction of our sovereignty, not just our jobs, our sovereignty. We gave all these powers to a bunch of unelected bureaucrats to create regulations when we're supposed to have laws, not regulations. Anyway, so that's, I think, what they're really afraid of him. Even he's not perfect, but he doesn't play game with this new world order, and that's a dangerous man, and that's why I like him. For me, even I don't agree on everything, but when you start to say Bush and Clinton get together to go after Trump, you're a friend of mine then. Okay, at least I like you for that. Now, what do you think about changing channel or changing situation? That normally people like to, or try to, I don't say like, try to always put us in this sort of political cages, okay, let's say, if you are conservative or you believe in legal immigration, you believe in the Second Amendment and all the stuff that normally we agree, including, but you must be, let's say, a very classic moral guy or woman that, you must go to church. And guess what? I don't want to hear about anal sex or gay sex or you with two women. You really don't fit the profile. What do you think about people giving you a hard time? Because I heard, and I don't want to try to make a case because honestly for me it's nothing sensationalist. It's your personal life. I couldn't care less. I mean, I'm happy that you're happy, but I like to bring it on because I feel always so disgusted when I see people try to pass judgments on somebody else's life, especially when you not try to involve them. I don't think you say, come with me. I know that you're a gay man, right?
Right, yes.
Good. And what is the point for people what type of grief are they giving you? I mean, I heard that on Facebook a few weeks ago, some of your friends, I guess, they were giving you some hard time. What type of hard time and why?
Well, they just, I've had some conservative Christians unfriend me because of it. And,
wow.
That's it's my business. What I do in my private life is up to me. I mean, I'm still American, and I mean, it was such a big step for me to go out there and rally and protest with you guys. I proved myself that I can do something, but I got a lot of grief growing up in high school, the name calling and whatnot. But, then people realize that I'm human, and, it doesn't matter. I mean, my mom, my whole family knows. I'm out to everybody, and they accept me. I mean, they love me.
Listen, I don't see really.
That's
It's insane. It is insane. The fact that, let's say, I'm different from you, okay? You're not doing anything to me to change my life. Let's say tonight you have your boyfriend or whatever relationship you have. What is going to change to me? Nothing. I still go home and I do my life. So, and I don't care if you're straight or lesbian or gay or bisexual or trisexual. The fact that all I ask, and I would say the same thing to a regular couple, a straight couple, just please don't do it in front of me. Because, maybe I don't want to see you, go pay for $50 for a hotel and go to do it, your French kiss in the hotel room. And I would say that to anybody. I don't care if you're straight or gay or lesbians. But beside that, when we respect each other, we do not impose our own lifestyle to others. I hate the idea of bigots, and I call them bigots, And I have on the show people that normally I respect many things, but I hate the idea that they go out and they try to preach their lifestyle is the only lifestyle we're supposed to follow. And not only that, they try also to legislate. That what really freaks me out. Because that for me, there is no difference between that and the Taliban. The only difference that, according to the Texan law or some other state law, technically, if we didn't have a Supreme Court case reversing that, people would be spent time in jail if you have anal sex, not just with guys, by the way, even with women, just to let you know.
Right.
I mean, that's scary. I mean, what the heck? What is the difference between us really and going to the Middle East in some of these countries? I mean, that's insane. So that's why I wanted to...
I don't impose my lifestyle on anybody. I mean, you are who you are, and I don't like people imposing their beliefs and religion on me, especially religion. I believe in what I believe in. You believe in what you believe in.
Exactly. And also, I'm not an expert. I call myself a Christian, but I'm different type of Christian. First of all, I have no pastors, no preacher. I don't have anything between me and God, because whenever there is a middleman, there is a scam, in my opinion. But that's just me. So I don't go to any churches. Even sometimes I know that there are some decent people out there, but still, I don't want that type of middleman. But bottom line is, all you have to do is read Jesus Christ's message. Jesus Christ was, let's say, forgiving everybody, and more importantly, always said, don't judge others. Because before you judge others, remove the log that you have in your own eye, moron. And that's why I like to say all these pastors and all these feel good people, they think they're so holy, they cannot even be your friends. If you're really Christian, if you really believe that person, let's say, needs help, or at least, in your mind, let's say is sinning, whatever, is in desperate need, you don't leave him alone. I don't say that you need to be around me and bug me, because I'm going to tell you in 2 words, one starting with F and one ending with the Y, leave me the freak alone. I understand friends, you can tell me your advice once, the second time become harassment, okay? So, but after that, you shouldn't judge others, and you should probably love them even more if I was really a good Christian. And that's what they really make me sad about these, holy people, that they think they're so moral that they need to, almost not only pass judgment, but also unfriend you just because of your personal sex life. I'm not exactly a saint myself. I mean, I'm straight, but hey, you read my post. Now, I'm not afraid. And if you don't like my post, the last time I said something to somebody, if you don't like what I write, my poems, I write erotic poems, you don't like them, change channel. Unfriend me. I couldn't care less.
Unfriend me. Exactly. It was so funny because when I finally came out on Facebook, a lot of people that I protested and rallied with are like, what? We had no idea.
And so what? I mean, so what? I mean,
yeah, they said, we don't care. You're still a great patriot. Said, we were happy to have you with us.
I don't even, for me, it's so completely, the only reason why I want to bring you on this topic, because I need to, not just talking about you, it wasn't about you, talking about them. Because for me, honestly, I couldn't care less. I mean, I don't even think, because I don't even visualize it. Well, it's your private life. Tonight you had pasta and wine. It's your life. All I want to know that you're a good guy and we share the same cause. We share the same values. Or at least, the things that belongs to us as Americans. I don't say that we need to agree on everything, but at least, we put our heart and our soul in the things that we love in this country. And that's all I care. And we respect each other.
Yeah.
And I remember you
exactly.
when we were on the street or we were doing protest. You never did. You were the most, probably one of the most. I always remember you also very dressed always elegant, and I mean, even seriously, you got your shirts. I mean, you were always very classy guy. Okay, we were in the middle of the street, hot. I mean, I never saw you like disrespecting any one of us or start to get out naked and start to do kumbaya, with a rainbow flag, okay? And trust me, if you wanted to do kumbaya with a rainbow flag, I couldn't care less. All I care that you don't show me your privates, okay? And that's it. I mean, you were great. I mean, what the heck? What is your problem, guys? That's why I hope you're listening. Some of you guys, you call yourself Christians. Please go read back the Bible. More important, the New Testament. And this is coming from somebody that doesn't know how to preach, because I don't preach. I barely can read English, okay? So I cannot preach. But let me tell you something. Jesus Christ says something that was very important. Not only he saved a prostitute. Okay, think about a prostitute. They were going to stone her, say, wait a second, you bastards. Probably didn't say bastards, but you out there, throwing, if you have no sin, I want to see without sin throw a rock. So the point, everybody has a sin. Everybody has there some sort of things they need to take care of themselves. But more important, he said, before you judge your neighbor, you judge the other person there, look at the log that you have in your eye. Look at your life. Mind about your own problems, because you got enough problems. So that's really much what really disgusts me about these people. And that's why many of these churches, I cannot even get close. Because every time I go there, I try to even listen, and they look at you, oh, you're not married. Oh, what? Oh, you write erotic poems. Oh, you must be a perv. You know what? Screw you, I told them one time. Seriously. How dare you? Who made you my father? Okay, only my mother can tell me I write erotic poems and say she doesn't like him. That's it. All right. Listen, I want to give you the floor. Whatever you want to talk, I give you the floor. I shut up.
You mentioned me having the rainbow flag marching down the street singing Kumbaya. The only flag that I carry, Luca, is the American flag.
I know that. That was a funny way to try to, sometimes I'm kind of a jogger. Kind of like that.
When we were at the Unite to Fight convention in Las Vegas, one of the guys that drove there with me, he had this beautiful American flag, big flag, and I got it and I was waving it. And the policeman came over, and Jim Gilchrist was with us, and the cop said, can you please put the flag down? I'm like, why? He goes, because they want to come over and basically beat the crap out of you because you're Mexican and you're waving an American flag.
Wow.
And he said, I suggest you guys go to the venue. So we put the flag in my car, we walk inside the venue. Yeah, I mean, that's how awful they are.
No, I remember that. I remember that situation. And you know what? I'm sorry that we follow the orders. I'm sorry that you follow the orders, because me
too.
One thing I regret, Sometimes people say we need to be the big guys. No. This is the principle. We are on U.S. soil, and the BS that we are supposedly going overseas to fight for our freedom, and we cannot even raise our American flag in Las Vegas, Nevada, because we are surrounded by a bunch of freaking yahoos, that they hate us. I mean, that right there, I would have, honestly, if I knew that today, I was there and I just saw when things were already done. But I tell you, and I was not even a citizen then. I was probably, I think I was just, 29th? When was the event? I forgot.
God. I think it was just after the Minuteman Project started, about maybe 2006.
It was the 29th of May. Anyway, it was a few days after my citizenship. But regardless, if I go back in past in time, I would say, Vince, screw him. Screw everybody who tells you to remove the American flag. I don't care. They're going to beat the crap out of us. We make a point today. And I'm telling you. But you were there. And I tell you, and honestly, you know what? Let's say tomorrow you want to wave the I don't know, Martian flag or the Kumbaya flag. Who cares? All I care that you don't put it on my face. You should be free in America to wave your, some rainbow flag if you want to. I don't care. All I care that you do it, without invading my space. That's all I care. Seriously. I mean, I have no problems with that either, But I remember the day. That was pretty sad how things we had to do that to comply because the cops say, the cops should have arrested this bastard. That not come to us or come to you. That's the situation. Wow.
Oh, yeah. And then we went to another one, and this one guy was telling me he'd take me home so I can eat some rice and beans and get back in touch with my roots.
I need wine. Oh my god! This is funny. Yes, and remember when they call you, they have different names. Of course, with me they were confused too because remember there was this article on Southern poverty law, and they put me in the nativist, and I was even born here. I was laughing so much, nativist, and I said, wait a second, guys. I called the Southern poverty law on the website. I was born in Rome. How can I be a nativist if I wasn't born in America? But with you, I remember they start to get you all these names, get creative, get your tacos and beans and what is that the name they do with the black people? I remember remember Terry Anderson, bless his soul.
Oh yes. He was great. I liked Terry. I was on his show a couple times too.
Yeah, and they got bad names for black. I mean, Uncle Tom. How would they call him? I forgot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're racist, these bastards. I mean, talking about racism, they're the most racist people I ever met in America. They're illegal aliens. Seriously. Or the crowd. Even
they are.
These white people that they call themselves anarchists or whatever, they're the most racist people I ever met. Seriously.
My favorite one that they used to call me was a coconut. And what it basically means is I'm brown on the outside, but white on the inside.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty bad. I mean, talking like tomorrow, let's say tomorrow you use the N-word to somebody else. I mean, for me, that's as bad as that, okay? But, they got a special pass, I guess, But you know what? Regardless, we are still here. Regardless, we don't stop. And I tell you, I feel optimistic. Even, of course, anything can happen. And I pray for the safety of this man because as much as he's not perfect, they hate him. These globalists hate Trump. And I hope they're not gonna kill him because I tell you, I'm everybody can be touched. I mean, the body's untouchable. I mean, the magic word, I have to say is grass in all, and everybody remember the drill, what they have to do. Okay, so and he has family. This guy, President Trump, is not just himself. They can say, okay, I don't care, kill me. He has daughters, sons, wife. I mean, that's the scary thing. I'm afraid. They can compromise him. That's why. We will see what he's going to do because if he starts to do things that is going to somehow change direction, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised they give him the offer you cannot refuse, like the mafia, so that's the scary thing. We'll see. We can pray now and show him support. I think really at this point, we need to show that we are here as Americans. I mean, if something happens to him, there must be millions of Americans say, you know what, forget about what they done, burning streets, because we don't burn streets. We don't burn business. We respect business. But we're going to start to get people, we know the names. We start from Soros, the Clintons, and the Bushes, and all these bastards. And the American people at that point, they need to really set a trial and we need to arrest people and start to put them in front of the jury of the people. That is part of our rights. I mean, we are still here in control if we want to, regardless Trump or not.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of you, seriously. And I am happy that we reconnected on Facebook. It's almost like a, time machine, going back in time, and we didn't see each other in 12 years, but I look at your photos. You look still the same to me. Let me see you one second. Maybe you guys are an old photo, but you look pretty young still, man. How old are you now?
Thanks. So I will be 50 in May.
Wow. Almost like me. I'm 49, so we are the same age.
Yeah, we're the same age. Yeah.
I look pretty great too. You know that.
Yeah.
No, seriously, you age good, man. Some people age differently, but you're doing well. I'm glad. Look, I look at your photo right now. I mean, you got glasses, but you had glasses before too, right? Eyeglasses.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, man. I am. Just be in touch with me, and whenever you want to be back on the show, and you know what I would like to have really seriously is somebody from the crowd of the holy man, I call him, okay? The perfect holy man that they're going to go to heaven and they see the rest of us like just junk. I would like to have one of these guys. We have an honest conversation. I want to be fair. I'm not going to call them names. I really want to understand how their brain works, okay? Have him on the show, and I would like to ask him some questions. Say this, Luca, he needs to understand. Maybe he's not a good Christian. Maybe he doesn't understand everything about Christianity. But I would like to understand what really goes into your brain to put down Mr. Vince Estrada for his personal sexual lifestyle. Why you had to be now unfriend him just because he's open to admit who he is as a human being. Why? I mean, after all, you're not going to hell. He's going to go to hell according to you, what you say. So what is the point? What is the point? Seriously. So if you find somebody that is, you still have a conversation going, say, look, I really would love to have you on the show. And I beg him, because I would like, maybe we can learn from each other. Like the lady, for example, I had 2 weeks ago when we were talking about these anti-sodomite laws. At the end of the show, say, you know what, Luca, you're right. If I really believe in freedom, I shouldn't mind people what they do in their life. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. All right, man. Lisa, I want to thank you and be in touch with me, okay?
I sure will.
And meanwhile, I want to say, everybody,
Definitely.
Thank you. And thank you for listening, guys. This is important stuff. It is beyond me and Mr. Vince Estrada. This is about Americans. We get together. We may have different accents. We may have different background. We may have different food taste. You may like tacos. I may like pasta. But at the end of the day, you may be gay. I may be whatever. I don't want to go what I am. I like women, period. But the point is, guess what? We are Americans, and we unite together and respecting each other. Even with different accents, we speak a language and we'll stand together for this country. That's the bottom line. That's the spirit of America, in my opinion, and the spirit of freedom. So that's it. And I want to say, everybody, if you want to support the show, please don't forget, go to www.zanna.us. Download any of my songs for 99 cents. You can also download, of course, some of my new book, Lyrics and Poems. And then, of course, you can get the coffee, the Zanna Coffee, zannacoffee.com, and everything else you find. Please support me. I appreciate it, so we can keep this show free. And now I want to play a song for you, Vince, if you're still there. I know you're there. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, I'm here.
What song would you like to listen? I'll give you a couple options. The Minutemen or Wake Up America? What do you want?
I like the Minutemen.
Okay. So I'll play for you and I'll dedicate it to you, the Minutemen. They wrote that exactly in 2005. Okay, my friend?
All right, thank you.
Very good. And it's going to be now playing the Minutemen. And then after this, I'll see you in the second hour. Great information, great guest. Do not go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna.
We're the Minutemen. We're gonna stand for our country. We'll fight till the end. We're the Minutemen. We're common people. We're just women and men, but our borders will defend. am not a vigilante, but we say to Mr. Fox that we'll stand hard like rocks under the sun of the desert, in the darkness of the night. All we want is to defend our country, our rights. Hell yeah! We're the Minutemen. We're gonna stand for our country, fight till the end. We're the Minutemen. We're common people. We're just women and men. Our borders will defend against invaders, against the traitors, against Vicente, the Mexican dictator. We are Americans. We are free people. Don't tell us what we can and can't do. Screw you, Fox. Screw you, ACLU. This song is dedicated to all the Minutemen and women that are standing for America. God bless you all. We are the Minutemen.
You're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with Luca Zanna on United States.fm network.